Now let's talk politics. The Rivers State House of Assembly says impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odum remain firmly on course. The Assembly made the clarification following reports circulating on social media suggesting that lawmakers had withdrawn or recalled the impeachment process. In a statement signed by the chairman of the House Committee on Information, Petitions and Complaints, Enemi George, the Assembly dismissed the reports as false and misleading. The statement further disclosed that notice of impeachment have been formally forwarded to Fubara and his deputy by the Speaker of the House, Martins Amaewhule, and that the Assembly is now awaiting their responses. Now, to discuss more on this, we are joined by political analyst and lawyer, Barrister Vincent Ottaokpukpu. Barrister Ottaokpukpu, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So, did you expect impeachment proceedings to persist after Tinubu's mediation and also the June 2025 peace deal between Fubara and Wike, giving the apparent reconciliation?
Okay, thank you for having me, and Happy New Year once again.
Thank you.
The peace deal that they had last year is more or less a political solution to the issue, and which I believe ought to have taken care of this political quagmire and, being witnessed in the Rivers State. Rivers State is an integral part of Nigerian nation, and what affects Rivers State affects Nigeria as a whole. To me, whether it persists or it stops based on the intervention of the president is immaterial to me. But the president may be, because if Mr. Fubara is now a member of the ruling political party, which the Mr. President chair or pilot their affair. So it's immaterial. So he may need to save their member, as the case may be. But what is on the table is the issue that has to do with the Constitution. As the Fubara committed an infraction that warrants impeachment under the provision of Section 188, and that there is a rigorous and a condition that is provided under Section 188, subsection 1 to 9 of the Constitution. So I do not think that they may stop their move, but they may have to respect the president as the father of the nation, as the leader of the All Progressive Congress, because some of them are also members of the State Assembly that also have defected to APC. So it's more or less APC members trying to impeach their PDP governor, as the case may be, which is not usual. So I don't think it will stop, but whichever case, I'm concerned with is the provisions of the law. The Assembly has constitutional power to issue notice. That is not that. And the issuance of notice is not a conclusive proof that allegation contained therein is proved or it contains some weighty substantialities. No. There must be a strict compliance with the requirement of the law. Okay. Once the notice has been signed by 2/3 majority of the House and served on the member, presented to the Speaker and laid before the House for consideration, and the House has now, by 2/3 majority, the Speaker has now forwarded 2/3 majority adopted by resolution that such should be served on the holder of the office, and the Speaker will now be able to, through the Speaker. And the Speaker will communicate same to be served through the clerk on the holder of office, the Fubara and the deputy in this case now. Haven't been served, which you just mentioned now. What now activate is for Fubara under Section 188 sub 3 to respond within 14 days.
Okay. Vincent, we're still within those 14 days. We'll wait to see what happens, whether they are going to respond. It's also,
if you respond within 14 days, fine. If he does not respond, fence.
Okay, then just a second. So, like you were saying, I think I understand what you were saying regarding what the APC seems to be becoming now, where you have this person in the same party, but yet he's still being antagonized from within the party. It looks like the PDP. Let's face it. But let's look at the legal ramifications here. What are the potential flaws in this third impeachment attempt since 2023, especially post-emergency rule, post-suspension of officials in March 2025? What are the legal ramifications here regarding the impeachment that has been served? Are they within the legal threshold?
It is quite unfortunate that Rivers State has been in the limelight. The impeachment notice purportedly served has provoked an inciting scholastic disputation. There is need for such notice to comply with the provisions of the Constitution, because which is itself regulates the powers of the State Assembly to make laws and conduct inquiries in the affairs of the executive and the governor. Now, the emergency rule has come and gone. We don't want to talk about the legality of the emergency rule and the powers of the president under Section 305 of the Constitution. We have discussed it in so many fora. Some of us have said it's illegal. The president has not had power to sustain the sitting governor. The governor has come back to power and they begin to carry out the executive functions under Section 176 of the Constitution. Now, they have now issued another impeachment notice on him. The impeachment notice should not be used as a yardstick to negotiate for power, to negotiate for political interests. The State Assembly have abandoned what we call in law lex non cogit ad impossibilia. They have abandoned what is supposed to be their responsibility, and now continue to pursue on the political jamboree and pursue their political interests and their masters. What they have done now is to use impeachment notice and threat of impeachment as a way to negotiate for power, negotiate for their interests and their masters, as the case may be. So there are certain flaws that I anticipate, but we cannot completely say there's a flaw now unless they have completed the process and there's a approach to the court of law under Section 6 of the Constitution. So like I've said before, once the fellow have responded under 14 days, they have to pass a motion by resolution of two-thirds majority to adopt that it required for investigation. If they pass it, they now pass it to this, the Speaker will write to the Chief Judge of the State for Chief Judge of the State to constitute a 7 persons committee, special committee, members who are not supposed to be members of a political party, civil service, or any legislative body, for them to conduct inquiry within 3 months of the report of
all right then, Vincent, I hope you're still there. You seem frozen.
Their investigation. Now, when they conclude, the fellow whom they are to be invited for him to be given fair hearing. And once the report is sent back, they have to now be able to consider it and either adopt it, whether it's proof or not proof. If it's not proved, that is the end of the game. If it's proved, then they will take it up from there. So, but they must be able to conform with the requirement of the Constitution. Supreme Court have led to rest in the case of Senator Abaribe versus
Just a second, Vincent. Just a second, Vincent. We're almost out of time, and I wanted to pull in here the influence of the FCT Minister, Wike. Many people argued that what we see is not legislation inside of River State anymore, but it's personality politics. But he has been very quiet since the impeachment move. So how do you factor in the FCT Minister into this, noting that this is where everything started from before, his grip on River State and Fubara's refusal to let him have all of it?
Yes, I want to thank Governor Fubara for standing on his ground. This is a test case for him. This is a case to test his political weight. This is a case to test the acceptance by the people of River State. He must be able to, reject some of this interference, and the FCT minister ought to have to call it a stop at this point. You cannot abandon your ministerial position and the responsibilities. Okay, look at recently a lawyer was murdered in Abuja here in cold blood, and the FIDA and the MBA went to submit a petition before the minister. He was nowhere. He has not resumed. Probably he may be in the River State, moving from one local government or the other. He must be able to allow the governor to function. You have served for 8 years as a governor. Yes, you helped this man to get into power. Allow him to function. You can still invite to become president of Nigeria in future. You can still come back and be senator or whatever. But allow the man to function because it's affecting the people of Rivers State. Every day we keep on talking about Rivers State Assembly. And it's quite unfortunate that he allowed himself as speaker to be used to ward the mandate of the people for straight administration in Rivers State. For the past 3 years, we keep talking about Rivers State, whereas on weekend, Fubara. Why must it be so? Is Rivers State only the state in Nigeria? There are so many other states in Nigeria, but we don't hear such cases. The governor should be able to know when to stop, and the president should be able to call him to order. This is a test case that for 2027, you need to put your house in order. You can't go to election in this form where you have one person causing confusion everywhere. So I want to join the minister Yosomwike to please, as a matter of urgency, put a stop to this. There must be an end to a litigation. There must be an end to a fight. There must be an end to everything for the sole interest of the people of Rivers State. We say pro bono publico for public interest.
Well, Vincent, I want to say thank you very much for giving us your expert advice on this. Thank you, Vincent.
Thank you for having me.